Track Trade, Amtrak. I'm Evan Haining. The self-styled Islamic State has taken Palmyra, Syria. Correspondent Arwa Damon says besides threatening priceless antiquities,
in pure military terms, it does allow ISIS for quicker, easier access, another route straight towards the capital, Damascus.
President Obama says he will not commit U.S. ground troops. Many Republicans call that a bad decision. Meantime, the president is thanking some Republicans for voting to move his trade agenda forward.
I want to thank the bipartisan group of senators who took a big step forward this morning on a trade agenda that is consistent with strong labor standards, strong environmental standards.
But there's wrangling over funding for Amtrak improvements. Democratic Senator Bob Menendez says U.S. rails need more money.
We're quibbling over $1 billion or $1.4 billion for Amtrak. China is spending $128 billion in their rail system in just 1 year.
I'm Evan Haining.
Performance Bicycle, where great rides begin. Wants your great ride to start now. Now through Memorial Day. It's the Red Tag Sale at performancebike.com. Over 1,000 items on sale. Plus free shipping. Red Tag deals on helmets, clothing, parts, accessories, and hundreds of bikes are priced to sell now. Plus 50 doorbusters at 50% off. But only while supplies last. Don't miss Performance Bicycle's Red Tag Sale. Plus free shipping at performancebike.com.
At Olympic, we make every project easy, every step of the way. So now you can easily beautify your outdoor deck with Olympic Elite or Maximum Stain. Or try one of our paint and primers in one, like Olympic One with exclusive Easy Wash formula, or Olympic Icon at a value starting at under $20 per gallon.
This Memorial Day, stop by Lowe's and save $10 on Olympic paints and stains via online and mail-in rebate, exclusively at Lowe's. Results vary by sheen. Offer valid 5/20 through 5/27 and applies to 114 to 128 fluid-ounce cans only.
It's Mike Manahan, host of Biz Rap Radio, the show all about small business and entrepreneurs. Join me every Friday at 3 p.m. right here on KCAA Radio.
Well, good afternoon, 12:02. I'm Di Rice with the only live local news in the Inland Empire on KCAA 1050 AM. For the second time this week, fire has claimed the life of an elderly victim in the high desert. A woman perished Wednesday when she was trapped in her bedroom by a fire that started in the kitchen of her El Mirage mobile home. Her husband had tried to extinguish the fire with a garden hose. Firefighters rescued 10 dogs. Also, an elderly man and 5 dogs died late Monday as flames destroyed his home at nearby Pinion Hills. And the Riverside County District Attorney's Office is currently prosecuting at least 3 separate cases involving false or fraudulent real estate rental listings in the Coachella Valley. These scams appear to correspond with the time periods of the Coachella and the Stagecoach Music Festivals last month and involved combined losses exceeding $220,000 to nearly 80 victims. In each of the cases filed by the DA's office, the would-be renters identified homes for rent on the internet rental listing services. Now, they communicated with someone claiming to be either the owner or the owner's agent and were sent rental contracts and information for accessing the house. Believing the rental to be legitimate, the victim would then send the deposit to reserve the rental, typically by check or wire transfer. Unsuspecting victims traveled to Riverside County, some as far away as the East Coast or Canada, only to find that the house they thought they rented was not actually for rent, and the money they provided as a deposit was gone. And city officials are reiterating their pledge of cooperation in a state investigation of Beaumont's financial reporting practices. A statement issued Tuesday stating that the city looks forward to clarifying the areas of concern. The investigation is being performed by the state controller's office. City also said it will update the public on the progress of the investigation. Last month, law enforcement officials raided several locations, including City Hall, in search of documents relating to Beaumont's relationship with a consulting firm. Inland Empire weather: cloudy today and tomorrow. Chance of showers tomorrow. Today's high is about 68 overnight. We'll drop down to about 57. Currently, we are still at 63 degrees here in San Bernardino. Looking at your drive, you've got stop-and-go traffic on the 91 eastbound in Corona between Auto Center Drive and the I-15. The westbound side is busy between the 15 and Main Street. And then also in Corona, you've got a right lane blocked on the 91 eastbound just after Grand Boulevard. That was an injury crash, so that's been hanging out there for a while. Traffic is slow from 6th Street. And let's see, in Lake Elsinore, object on the roadway, I-15 northbound right at Lake Street. That's the latest in news, weather, and traffic on the station that leaves no listener behind, KCAA 1050 AM.
Don't miss the fun on Getaway Fridays starting at 2 p.m. with The Poor Man. Next, it's Let's Go Shopping with Bev, Jason Stapleton, The Happy Hour with Ben and Alexander, and Langdon Nation. KCAA 1050 AM, where Fridays are great days.
Down to Earth Talk, a show designed to inspire, encourage, build, and bring laughter to listeners. Down to Earth Talk, where we take everyday topics and issues and put them into practical, down-to-earth terms. Topics include relationships, parenting, finances, sports, and entertainment. That's Down to Earth Talk, Saturdays 5:30 p.m. right here on KCAA 1050 AM.
Sacrifice, determination.
You can be intentional about your character, your work ethic.
You've got to be on the same page.
Today we're calling to let you know we are debt-free, house and everything.
You have done really, really, really good. And you're not going to quit now.
It's been a huge witness for us to be able to share that.
It was time to get serious.
Intentionality, people.
Celebrate the success.
Oh my goodness, thank you so much.
This is your show, America.
If I knew at 22 what I know now, our life would be better off.
It's the show that's changing the world. Now you don't just listen to the show, you live it. Live from the headquarters of Ramsey Solutions, it's the Dave Ramsey Show, where debt is dumb, cash is king, and the paid-off home mortgage has taken the place of the BMW as the status symbol of choice. I'm Dave Ramsey, your host. This is your show, America. Thank you for joining us. It's your show because we take more calls here than any other talk radio show in America. You're the subject. We talk about you right in front of you. The phone number is 888-825-5225. 888-825-5225. Joshua's going to start off this hour in Jacksonville, Florida. Hey, Joshua, how are you?
Good, Dave. How about you?
Better than I deserve. What's up?
Last appointment, I watched your Financial Peace University videos, and one thing that you talked about for mutual funds, you want to find a fund that has a good track record that's at least 5 years, and it's better if it's longer, of course.
Yep.
How do you deal with fund managers changing roles? So recently I bought one that's been in since 2009. It's got that 5-year mark, but they just changed the fund manager last year of, I believe, December. And so the fund's been doing that well, but then again, you know, we're looking for long-term investments, not exactly in the short term. So I want to know your opinion on that.
Well, most of the better funds now are not using a superstar manager as the single guy. They're using a team approach. And so when the guy or the gal that's the superstar changes out, the team is still there and the philosophy's still there. So you don't really lose much. Back in the old days, and there are still some of the funds that do this, but it was more they would get a name brand rock star person that everybody's like, whoa, that, you know, it's like a winemaker. We got such a winemaker helping us with our wine. Woo, you know, we got this fund manager, and this one person is going to change the whole direction. But the downside of that superstar fund manager concept is what you're talking about, and that is when that superstar fund manager leaves, so does their track record. It goes with them. Because you got a new person coming in. We don't know anything about them. We might as well be starting over. But if you have a team approach to managing it and a set philosophy, a set investing philosophy that team is using to select the stocks that they keep or to select the stocks that they don't keep or that they purchase or those kinds of things, then the philosophy, the guidelines, the principles, the team is still there, and the manager's more of a team lead than anything else, and them coming in and out doesn't affect you as much. So that's what I look for if I'm concerned about what you're talking about. Which fund family is this in?
Oof, that is a good question. I don't have it off the top of my head.
Okay. Are you working with a broker?
I am not. I'm doing it for myself.
Okay. All right. Is it a no-load fund?
I don't believe so.
Probably is if you were doing it by yourself.
It is? Okay. I
Right.
Trying to do
Well,
investing,
just do some
obviously.
research. Just do some Google research. It'll pop right up. Or jump over on Morningstar's website, or jump onto the their investing philosophy section of their FAQs and that kind of stuff, and see how they're see how they're approaching it. But a lot of the better funds, for instance, American funds. Is an example of one, and Vanguard both. They both use primarily the team approach. They've not been bringing in the rock star. And at the same time, companies are doing that to manage companies. The old days of the rock star CEO coming in to save the day, and one person being in the CEO chair changes the whole company. Well, it does, because leadership matters. But if the whole thing is based on that one person, you ain't got much of a company.
Exactly.
And the same thing's true with this fund. So I prefer to buy into a fund family that uses primarily the team approach, because that way the track record is, it's more credible. It's a bit more credibility, which is what you're addressing, and very wisely so on your part. So, hey, thanks for the call. Up next is going to be Justin in Manhattan, Kansas. Hi, Justin. How are you?
Pretty good, Dave. How's it going?
Better than I deserve. What's up?
I've been battling a decision. Me and my wife took FPU through our local church, and we've basically been on. We have been in gazelle mode and attacking our debt.
Good for you.
I have the opportunity. Well, I shouldn't say I have the opportunity. Me and my wife have the opportunity to attack a major debt of mine. It's a student loan that sits at 6.5%, and a truck loan that sits at 2.75%.
What's the balance? What's the balance on the student loan?
The student loan is $15,000.
And the truck loan is what?
$12,000.
Okay.
And some change.
All right. And what's your household income?
About $145,000 a year.
And how much debt have you paid off so far?
We settled like a $2,000 loan with my wife's student loan this year, and a couple of years ago I paid off one of my student loans at like.
I mean, you went through FPU. You make $145,000, and all you paid off is $2,000.
Well, yeah, Dave, because basically, we own our home. Well, we're in the process of owning our home.
What's that got to do with it?
Well, I don't know. Me and my wife look back on our situation and we say if we would have took FPU a lot earlier.
And when did you take FPU?
About a month ago.
Oh, good. Okay, so you're just kind of getting started then. But during FPU, you should be jacking this up, man. You ought to be in attack mode.
Well, I am, Dave.
How quick you going to pay off? I mean, you got $37,000 in debt. How quick? I mean, $32,000 in debt. How quick you going to pay it off? You make $145,000. You ought to be done in about 8 months. Let's get with it.
Okay, Dave. That's my question.
Yeah.
Okay, my truck loan.
I don't care what your interest rate is. You went through FPU. You pay off the smallest one first. Boom, knock it out. You're going to be done in no time.
That's what my wife said, but I'm looking at it like, well, I wish I can just get rid of the student loan.
Yeah, well, how well has your plan been working? Hey, man, listen. The interest rates don't matter. You're not going to be in debt but 8 months anyway, because you're going to roll up your sleeves and punch this thing in the mouth. And so the difference in 6.5 or 2.75 nominally, the actual dollars we're discussing here won't buy you a freaking Happy Meal. Because you're not going to be in debt long. Now, if you're going to compare 6.5 to 2.75 over on a 30-year mortgage, it's a lot of money. But we're talking about 3 or 4 months.
Yeah, and
that's all.
Yeah, according to your plan, I should just really take out the one with the smaller interest rate, which will be my truck.
Yep. But here's the thing. It doesn't even matter. It doesn't matter whether you do your plan or my plan. What matters is you get a whole lot more fired up and you grasp the idea that you need to be done in 8 months.
And that's the goal, Dave. I mean, that's the goal we're on.
Okay, and the point is then that this whole discussion doesn't matter mathematically. Because go back and multiply. Okay, here's the thing. We're talking about $10,000, okay? And we're talking about 3 or 4% divided by 4. I mean, literally, this discussion, man, you could have gone out to dinner for what we're talking about. It doesn't matter. What matters here is getting pissed off and attacking the debt. Gazelle intensity, man. That's the answer to this. It's not a math problem. Quit trying to fix this mess with the math. Attack! Ah! That's how you do it. This is the Dave Ramsey Show.
Well, maybe. Chaos? Definitely. Tune in weekday mornings, Monday through Friday at 8 a.m. for Controlled Chaos with Gary Garver, Jigga, Dave, and Mary Tonga. KCAA, 1050 a.m.
Information and advice. In fact, they've been requested by over 60,000 customers. Home buyers will want to get buying your first home, or what every home buyer must know. Those interested in refinancing should get our refinancing handbook. Call Churchill Mortgage today or visit us online to discover why we're the only mortgage company Dave Ramsey has ever endorsed.
Bob Vila here with my home improvement tip of the day. Adding a half bath to your basement not only increases convenience, but it can also boost the value of your home. You'll need to know if sewer or septic lines are buried sufficiently deep in the ground so gravity can do most of the work getting rid of waste. A check with your municipality or the contractor who built your home will probably provide the answer. If it'll be gravity doing most of the work, you'll still need to install a one-way valve to keep wastewater from backing up into the basement. If the lines are above the level of the toilet, one good option is to install an up-flushing toilet. They generally have pumping mechanisms hidden inside the toilet or behind it. Up-flushing toilets are not cheap, but you probably won't have to cut through your basement slab, so that'll save you money. Some models even allow you to tie in the wastewater lines from sinks and shower stalls. In any case, don't start the job before you check local building codes. Most installations will require a permit. Get more info at bobvila.com and right here at home with me, Bob Vila.
Discover the wonders from the land down under at the Australian Outback San Diego Zoo's latest exhibit. Here you'll encounter wombats, wallabies, kookaburras, cockatoos, and koalas. You'll be at eye level with 7 different marsupials, and you may even encounter koala joeys on their moms' backs. San Diego Zoo's Australian Outback is also home to 25 colorful bird species. Watch these beautiful creatures in the land down under. The new Australian Outback at San Diego Zoo. For more information, go to sandiegozoo.org.
If you can't seem to stay ahead of your bills, then this message is for you. How would you like to have a large portion of your credit card debt, medical bills, and department store debt forgiven? National Credit Card Relief would like to give you free information on a proven debt forgiveness program. This program has been used by thousands to legally forgive millions in unsecured debt. It's not bankruptcy. It's not consolidation. This special program actually wipes clean the portion of your debt that is forgiven from what you owe your creditors. Call for free information and get all your questions answered in the first free call. The more you owe, the more you can save. If you have at least $10,000 or more in credit card bills, this debt forgiveness program can be very effective. Call for free information and find out more now. 800-546-2909. There is no cost or obligation for the information. Don't wait. Call 800-546-2909. That's 800-546-2909. Get your debt problem solved. Call 800-546-2909 today.
Miss one of your favorite shows? Don't worry, we've got your radio DVR right here on KCAAradio.com. Log on and listen to any show you want, anytime you want, on KCAA 1050 AM.
Thanks for joining us, America. We're so glad you're here. Open phones at 888-825-5225. Our Every Dollar $30,000 giveaway is going strong. That's right. We're giving away $30,000 in cash to celebrate our Every Dollar budget tool, exceeding now 365,000 users, and it's barely over a month old. Wow. And you can win some of this cash. Head over to DaveRamsey.com and enter once a day. No purchases necessary. It's already time for our third on-air giveaway. And, hey, we're going to talk about this stuff continually until we get it right and get it figured out. So, anyway, it's a great idea. Go over to DaveRamsey.com. We've got a $10 sale going on all of our books and so forth. And you can check out the Total Money Makeover for $10. You can buy it. You can get the Legacy Journey, Smart Money, Smart Kids, any of this. And we're giving away cash. And you can register as many times as you want to register for the Every Dollar giveaway. And check out the Every Dollar online budgeting tool at everydollar.com as well. But the sign up for the money is at DaveRamsey.com, and no purchase is necessary. Thanks for joining us. All right, Maurice is with us in San Antonio. Hey, Maurice, how are you?
Good, Dave. How are you doing?
Better than I deserve. What's up?
Awesome. Okay, so here's my situation. I am 20 years old. I've been married for 1 year. My wife and I, we have about $19,000 in debt, and I make about $30,000 a year. And me and my wife we were talking about it a little while ago, and we think it's a good idea. We wanted to start our own business. I wanted to do handyman business, but I don't know anybody who does it. I don't have any advice. I really honestly don't know what I'm doing. I haven't started anything.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
So
do you have the skills to fix the things?
Absolutely. I work.
And you have the tools.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So the part you don't have is the business part. That's what you're talking about.
Absolutely.
Okay.
I don't.
Okay. Well, the good news is you don't have to overcomplicate this. You just have to charge a reasonable fee, and we don't even know what reasonable is because we haven't done it yet, right? And so you're going to have to play with that a little bit and mess around with it. But, I mean, basically you can print some business cards up, says, Maurice's Handyman Service. You can start handing them out around nice neighborhoods and around some real estate offices where they need some help. And, I do painting. I do, minor electrical, minor plumbing. I do, whatever it is you do. I'll install a dishwasher for you. I'll haul off trash. What do you need me to do? And then when they call you, you go price the job, right?
Sure.
And that's the trick, is to price the job in such a way that you make money on it. But pretty quick, you'll get covered up if you do good work at a reasonable price and you do it on time. Nobody does that in that world, and so you'll be covered up with business.
Great. Okay.
And pretty soon you'll be making so much money you'll quit your other job. I mean, I'm serious. I know a guy making $200,000 a year doing what you're talking about.
Hopefully, I would like for that to happen one day. So
yeah, it really could. So, but all you have to do is, the marketing is scaring up the business, and that's just shoe leather and handing out, take some Krispy Kreme or Dunkin' Donuts by that real estate office, and go by and see some of these people that have that manage rentals as well, and say, hey, anytime you need help with one of those rentals, I can run by there and I can haul off that old water heater, or I can do this, or I can fix that little leak you got over there, or whatever, and and I'll get right on it, and I'll be honest, and you're going to get good service, and it's going to be a fair price. And then you go out there and you price it out, and if you don't get some of the jobs because you're pricing too high, you're going to know that pretty quick. And if you're pricing too low, you'll know that when you get the check versus the work you did. You went, well, that wasn't worth it. It doesn't take, you don't have to be a rocket scientist to figure out you're underpricing something, right?
Absolutely.
And if you're overpricing something, you're not going to get any business. So just go in there and get started and get your hands dirty, and you'll be amazed what you do. And I'd want cash, paid right then. You don't have to get into a big accounting system. They just need to pay you when you do the work.
Great.
And get started, and what you'll do is you'll get more sophisticated as you go along. Hold on, I'm going to give you a copy of our book, the Entree Leadership book. Some of the stuff in there is more about hiring team members and building your team and that kind of stuff, but there's some other things in there that'll help you with this process. So hold on, and it'll still be a good book for you to read, even though you're not looking to build a 40-person team or something here. Jessica is in Tampa, Florida. Hi, Jessica. How are you?
I'm doing well, Dave. Thank you so much for speaking with me.
Sure. What's up in your world?
Well, my husband and I are sort of struggling with a decision here. About a month ago, I was recruited for a job. I'm a nurse outside of my state in Charlottesville, Virginia. And we just want to know if it makes financial sense in the grand scheme of things. We started your plan about 3 months ago.
What do you make now?
We bring about $7,000 a month a home.
Now, what do you make?
What do I make? I make about $67,000 annually currently.
Okay, and what is the offer from the other state?
It could potentially be $78,000. With the position that I do as a nurse, there's a lot of on-call opportunities. So in the new position, I would be required to be on-call less, but I would make more money while I'm on-call.
What does your husband make a year?
He brings home, I would probably say $55,000-ish.
Okay, and would he be able to get that same job in the next state?
I believe he would. He has a master's degree and he's very educated, and I don't think he's unemployable by any means. I have looked for positions that he does in Virginia and Charlottesville, and there are plenty of positions
Do you
available.
prefer, for personal reasons, to live in Charlottesville?
I do. I think it would be a great place to raise my daughter. The schools are probably better there. Also, we would have family about 2.5 to 3 hours away. My husband, on the other hand, he likes Florida better, but he's not unwilling to move to Charlottesville.
Why does he like Florida better?
It's kind of hard to get that out of him. He just likes Florida better, he says. He can't really expand on it any more than that.
Well, I think we need to keep talking about why. How long have you lived there in Florida?
I have lived in Florida for 29 of my 30 years of life, and he has moved all around from place to place to place.
So this is your home.
Most recently, we've been in Florida for the past 3 or 4 years.
This is your home, really, though.
It's, once I graduated from college at Florida State University, I said I want to get out of Florida and I never want to come back.
Oh.
So I did get out of Florida and moved to Atlanta to be with him for a year, and then I came back because he wanted to come back.
Okay. Well, here's the thing. There's not enough money on the table to make the decision.
Yeah.
It's $10,000. Whoopee. Okay. Yeah. What you guys need to decide is where you want to live. Both are valid places to live. I could live in either one. Charlottesville's a beautiful little town. It's an academic town. It's great. I mean, it's a beautiful area of Virginia, and certainly Tampa's a great place too. And but both have good neither one have particularly high taxation. They both have good, strong economies. Florida's warm, but it's got the humidity. So, you just got to decide where you guys want to live. Now, if you're going to make the move, he's got to have that job landed, because to go up there and you take a $10,000 or $12,000 increase and you lose $55,000 a year for his income, that's not good. So if he can find a solid job to go with this job, and if the two of you decide you want to live in Charlottesville, that's fine. But I don't think you make the move because of the money. I think you make the move and you get some more money. So is the move this is personal finance, Jessica. So it's personal in the sense of it's okay for you to care about where you live more than what you make. That's okay. I could make more if I lived in L.A. or New York, but I'm not going to live there. I like Nashville a lot. Not mad about L.A. or New York, just not going to live there. I like Nashville. I visit the other places frequently, but I like Nashville. And so I live in Nashville, and I chose to do that. So where do you want to live? That's the trick here. This is the Dave Ramsey Show.
It's the show that's saving the world one naughty joke at a time. Langdon Nation, every Friday night at 7 p.m., right here on KCAA 1050 AM.
I literally started my business on a card table in my living room. In those days, I was the one responsible for keeping track of my expenses. And if I wanted my family to eat, I had to make sure the money was coming in. I was a true entrepreneur. Nowadays, I know there's a better way. It's called FreshBooks, and I'm a big fan of what they do. FreshBooks is an online software and mobile app that allows you to track your time, capture expenses, and create professional invoices. It's easy and it works. Find out what over 5 million entrepreneurs and small business owners just like you have already discovered. You can try it free today at getfreshbooks.com. Just enter the Dave Ramsey Show under How Did You Hear About Us for your free 30-day trial. That's getfreshbooks.com. And remember, enter the Dave Ramsey Show to get started today.
This is KCAA.
California headline news. Efforts to clean up Refugio Beach near Santa Barbara continued this morning after that massive oil leak.
Our priorities during the response are to ensure the safety of the public, mitigate the impact of the spilled substance on the environment and wildlife, and the waterways and the beaches.
Coast Guard Captain Jennifer Williams, as much as 100,000 gallons of oil apparently spilling, killing birds, polluting the water. Could take weeks to clean everything up, maybe longer. 2/3 of Californians say the water shortage is extremely serious, about the same number who support Governor Brown's plan to reduce water usage by 25% statewide.
It's going to be a tall order for the state to get all of these homeowners to cut back on the amounts that the state is intending them to do.
Field Poll Director Mark DiCamillo says that's because 44% of Californians say they would find it difficult to reduce their household's water. 2 farm workers injured, another dead following a shooting in an orchard. It happened near Fresno. Geico weather partly cloudy, chance of rain and showers in many parts of the state. Jeff Scott, California News.
Today, Geico's stuff found in your car takes us under your passenger seat.
Hello, darling. Remember me? That earring you lost? I thought we were close, but then it took 15 minutes to notice I was missing in this ghastly carpeting. That's 15 minutes you could have used to switch your car insurance to Geico and saved hundreds of dollars. Money you could use for new earrings. And wouldn't that be nice? For you.
Geico. 15 minutes could save you 15% or more on car insurance. Visit geico.com today.
Times sure have changed since Geico started saving people money over 75 years ago. We didn't have video games like today. But that's not to say we didn't have fun. One of my favorite games was Don't Get Kicked by the Goat. Now that's some real excitement, especially when someone lost. Yep, back then we knew 2 things: how to have a good time, and that Geico was always a good deal.
Geico, saving people money on car insurance for over 75 years.
If you can't seem to stay ahead of your bills, then this message is for you. How would you like to have a large portion of your credit card debt, medical bills, and department store debt forgiven? National Credit Card Relief would like to give you free information on a proven debt forgiveness program. This program has been used by thousands to legally forgive millions in unsecured debt. It's not bankruptcy. It's not consolidation. This special program actually wipes clean the portion of your debt that is forgiven from what you owe your creditors. Call for free information and get all your questions answered in the first free call. The more you owe, the more you can save. If you have at least $10,000 or more in credit card bills, this debt forgiveness program can be very effective. Call for free information and find out more now. 800-546-2909. There is no cost or obligation for the information. Don't wait. Call 800-546-2909. That's 800-546-2909. Get your debt problem solved. Call 800-546-2909 today.
Are you particular about the vitamins and supplements you take? Have you found that the big chain stores simply don't have what you need? Then you should know about the Vitamin Center of Agora Hills. You'll find rock-bottom prices on gourmet, top-quality vitamins and mineral supplements at the Vitamin Center. Get 30% off on all supplements and homeopathic products. All, not just selected merchandise. In addition, you'll find 30% off on all cosmetics, soaps, shampoos, toothpaste, makeup, hair coloring, and lip gloss. And all tea products are discounted 20%. Why go anywhere else? See for yourself at the Vitamin Center of Agora Hills, 5007 Canaan Road in Agora Hills. Or check out the savings and place your order online, VitaminCenterAgoraHills.com. Start saving by getting what you need from the Vitamin Center of Agora Hills. And tell a friend that the Vitamin Center ships nationwide. Call 818-707-0005. That's 818-707-0005. The Vitamin Center of Agora Hills.
This is Elaine McFadden inviting you to join me for Smart Health Talk on Thursdays, 4 to 5 p.m., right here on KCAA Radio 1050 a.m. Smart Health Talk offers the kind of information that can save your life and save you money, making sure you're getting the biggest Smart Health bang for your buck. We'll keep you up to date on the latest in nutrition, health, and what it takes to keep your home safe for you and your family. Remember, tune in every Thursday, 4 to 5 p.m. for Smart Health Talk, KCAA Radio 1050 a.m.
Broadcasting more local radio programs than any other station in California. We are KCAA.
In the lobby of the headquarters of Ramsey Solutions, Brad and Jessica are here. Hey, guys, how are you?
Hey. Hey, Dave.
Welcome, welcome. Where do y'all live?
Cincinnati, Ohio.
Oh, fun. So a little drive down, 5 hours or something?
Roughly, yeah.
Give or take, and add an hour or two since you got little ones.
It was interesting.
I bet. So tell me about the little ones. What are their names and ages?
Noah is going to be 5 in July. Jake is 3, and Lily is 8 months.
Oh, man. Beautiful family. And you're here to do your debt-free scream. How much have you paid off?
We paid off $70,000 in 3 years.
In 3 years. Very good. Making what kind of money?
We started out making $80,000 a year, and then God kind of was calling Jess to go home, kind of stay with the kids, and
yeah, you got a lot of daycare there. Otherwise,
yeah, it was kind of starting to mount up with that. So we decided to let her kind of go home, stay with the kids, and he also kind of came through and offered me a promotion through my job. So allowed her to do that, and we took a little bit of a pay cut, which slowed us down a little bit. But
so where are you now?
We are currently we're probably back up to 80,000 again.
Oh, okay. All right. Very cool. So it worked out.
Yeah.
That's perfect. Yeah. Good. What do you do for a living?
I am a production supervisor for the aerospace industry.
Excellent. Very cool. What kind of debt was the $70,000?
$25,000 was credit card debt. $10,000 was a debt consolidation for credit card. $17,000 for a car. $12,000 for a student loan, and then $6,000 for medical bills.
You guys are freaking normal. I mean, you hadn't met a debt you didn't like. You had them all.
We
were signed up for every one of them. That's awesome. That's very cool. You're just cruising along and look up and went, this sucks.
Absolutely, yes.
Yeah, so what happened 3 years ago that gave you your wake-up call and made you decide you could and should get out of debt?
Jess and I have a little bit different story on that. For me, it was I was at a car dealership trying to finance a $24,000 van, and we couldn't get finance for it. So it was like, what are we doing? This is stupid. And it was kind of the line in the sand that we drew.
Got it. Jess, what's your story?
Our church did a little mini-series with you, and so that caused us to sign up for FPU through our church, and we were taking the personality quiz, and I said, you're the nerd, and he said, what are you talking about? I'm the free spirit. And at the end of that, he looked at me and he said, oh my gosh, I am the nerd. I need to be taking over the finances. And it was a game changer for us. It really changed our dynamic a lot. And
wow. Which church do you go to in Cincy?
We go to the Vineyard.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, we've been there. Yeah, yep. Good folks. Good folks. Okay, very cool. So that's where you took FPU, and you go through that. What was the biggest thing that happened in that class that you didn't see coming? I mean, you signed up for a financial class, so you saw some of this coming. But what was the aha? Was it that nerd thing?
I think that was probably the biggest. Was I was kind of a hands-off to the finances. She took care of it all, and I didn't want to ask or tell or even know about it. So,
gotcha.
And I was the free spirit forced to be the nerd. So,
gotcha.
That once a month, I was like, "This is awful."
Yeah, so, you hated every minute of it.
Yeah,
I understand. So, what was the hardest part of getting out of debt?
Oh, gosh, when we started doing the emergency fund or the debt snowball, it really started to see that light at the end of the tunnel type thing. But the budget, I think, was the hardest thing for us because it was just getting giving up the things that we just never thought we could give up. And then I think probably for us it was doing the budget committee meetings, actually getting together and meeting, because we just live such busy lives.
I hear you.
So I would just...
We can tell they're running circles around both of you.
Pretty much.
It's hilarious. Oh, my gosh, you look like jungle gyms out there. Oh, okay. So, all right, have the kids been practicing their debt-free scream? Noah, are you going to scream? You know how to do it?
We prepped them. We tried.
You've been working all the way from Cincinnati practicing this, right? All right, get ready. Get ready. Get ready. Here we go.
Ready?
All right, $70,000 paid off. Way to go, you guys. I'm proud of you.
Thank you.
In 3 years, making $80,000, or making it, 70 paid off, making $80,000. Count it down. Let's hear a debt-free scream.
3,
2, 1.
We're debt-free!
Way to go, you guys. That's awesome. Man, those Rugrats running around everywhere in the middle of that thing. But you know that'll make you cry if you stop and think about it, because what you're witnessing there is a whole family tree being changed. Those little Noah's lives changed, man. Jacob, Lily, their lives have been changed. Why? Because their mom and dad decided to be grown-ups. They decided to do something Congress can't do. They balanced their budget. They decided they were going to live on less than they make. They decided they were going to pay a price. They were going to scrape and claw and scratch until they finally got everything paid off. And so those two little rambunctious boys and that sweet little girl, they got a whole different life because their mom and dad decided to be grown-ups. That needs to happen all over America, people. That's a big deal. That was courageous stuff Brad and Jessica did. Way to go, you guys. Proud of you. Anthony is with us in Tucson, Arizona. Hi, Anthony. How are you?
I'm doing good. I'm very happy to be talking with you, Dave.
You too, sir. Thank you for calling in. How can I help?
So I just started listening to you and read Complete Guide to Money about a month ago.
Okay.
And I got my wife on board, and we're all for this.
Mm-hmm.
And I think we have a pretty good plan ahead.
Good.
We talked about doing FPU,
mm-hmm.
but I know that it's kind of, I guess, faith-based.
Mm-hmm.
I'm atheist and she's agnostic. Is this something that would still benefit us?
Well, it certainly will benefit you. There's no question about that. And you're more than welcome. Everyone's welcome to the class. Financial Peace University is the quote, it's not just faith-based, it's Christian-based. And it will be taught in a church. That's where you would be attending. I mean, I just want you to know what you're getting into, but you're more than welcome. I have lots of people that, are agnostic or atheist or just hadn't thought about it, or, they go to a different denomination than where the church is being held, so they don't always agree with everything going on under the church roof, that kind of thing. Or, I had a couple Muslim guys come through our Entree Leadership training the other day. I got to sit and talk to them. It was awesome. And but everybody's welcome. I'm not mad at anybody. So you're more than welcome. And I think you'll find the people teaching the class to be friendly and welcoming to you. I think just to kind of give you a guideline of the fact that you would call my show and ask me about this tells me you're not someone walking around with a chip on your shoulder just looking to be offended all the time.
No, not at all.
Okay. And so, if you're one of those, then you're probably going to find something to be offended about, right? And I don't think you are. I think if you read, you saw faith and you saw Scripture mentioned in Complete Guide to Money, right?
Sure, yeah.
And if you were not offended by that and received instruction from your worldview, in spite of that, it would be the right way of saying it, I guess. Then you saw value in that, then you'd probably have a pretty similar experience in Financial Peace University.
Okay.
They don't force you to get on your knees and pray before the class starts. We tell people not to do that, as a matter of fact. Not that there's anything wrong with that from our perspective, but it's a financial class. It's based on biblical things, but so's a Complete Guide to Money. As a matter of fact, Complete Guide to Money is the handbook that comes in the Financial Peace University class.
And that's what I found out, and I got the book handed to me, so
okay.
It really helped us out a lot, though.
Oh, I'm glad it helped you. And you're more than welcome. You're going to see about that same level of Christianity woven into the class, in that as a Christian, I weave my faith into anything I teach, anywhere I am, but hopefully not doing it in a way that's so freaking overbearing that that makes you lose your taste for it, because I want to help you too, you know?
No, and I haven't felt that way at all listening to you or reading the book. So.
Okay, cool. Well, that's probably what you're going to get, unless the coordinator just decides to get overzealous leading the class. But generally, the actual content in the videos would be about the same level, with the exception of the last lesson, which is a tithing lesson on giving. But if you just convert that from tithing to giving in your mind as you're hearing it, you probably will get instruction from that as well.
Okay.
Hey, man, thanks for the call, and I hope you enjoy the class. This is the Dave Ramsey Show.
He doesn't mess around, and he doesn't take sides, and he looks good doing it. It's the all-new Jason Stapleton program at jasonstapleton.com every weekday at 5 p.m. right here on KCAA 1050 AM.
This is KCAA.
What have I learned so far? I've learned that there is no one path right for everyone. I've learned that without my high school diploma, I can only do so much. My options were limited. I found a free personalized learning program with Learn for Life that has a flexible schedule so I could keep my job while earning my high school diploma. I found new career training opportunities that would jumpstart my future. What have I learned so far? I've learned that I can change my life.
Are you 14 to 19 years old and looking for a free high school diploma program with flexible meeting times? This program allows you to keep your job or important family responsibilities while earning your high school diploma. If you've fallen behind on credits or dropped out of school completely, get back on track with free tutoring, a caring faculty, and one-on-one attention. For more information on how to reach your graduation goal, visit learnforlife.org. That's LEARN, the number 4, LIFE.org. Or enroll today by calling 877-360-LEARN. That's 877-360-LEARN.
Like to spend a few days in another world? Then write this down. Golden Bear Cottages, Big Bear Lake. Now, listen, this is not some corporate-owned operation. It's family-owned and operated by some real nice people. Unique? Oh, you bet. Golden Bear Cottages features 28 one-of-a-kind cabins on a 5-acre historic site. Great for families, couples, and groups. And cabins are available with 1 to 7 bedrooms. Golden Bear Cottages is just a stone's throw from Big Bear Lake and super close to 3 great ski areas. Now, I could go on all day about Golden Bear Cottages in Big Bear, but to see everything, just go to goldenbear.net. Again, goldenbear.net. Golden Bear Cottages in Big Bear. Clean, comfortable, and affordable. Check them out. goldenbear.net.
Hi, this is Bob with Real Estate Talk with Bob and Randy. Tune in every Thursday afternoon from 3 until 4 at KCAA Radio 1050, and we will be there to answer your real estate questions, the latest real estate news, and to talk to the leaders of the real estate industry. Our Real Estate Talk, you can find out how to stop your foreclosure, first-time homebuyer information, loan modifications, different kinds of loans you can buy with, short sale strategies, and real estate investing and more. So don't forget, tune in every Thursday afternoon at 3 for Real Estate Talk with Bob and Randy. You'll be glad you did.
If you're like most, your trust in traditional financial advice has taken a big hit in the last few years. So when it comes to your money, investment, and retirement planning, where do you turn now? Who do you listen to? Join us for Smart Money Talk Radio, Mondays from 3 to 4 p.m. for the refreshing, straightforward money and investment strategies of Jim and Lorraine Conaway. With over 44 years of combined experience, the Conaways are here to educate you on how to be smart with your money. Securities offered through J.P. Turner & Company, LLC. Member SIPC.
The Inland Empire's radio home for the Dave Ramsey Show.
If you want to mess around with the Bitcoin thing and you're in that world a little bit, that's fine. But don't put your freaking life savings in it, doofus.
AM 1050 and KCAAradio.com.
Thank you for joining us, America. Blinds.com gives us our question of the day. They're kicking off Memorial Day with a great way to save. Buy 3 blinds, get the 4th free. Any style, any quantity, but only through Wednesday the 27th. Go to Blinds.com/memorial. That's buy 3, get the 4th one free at Blinds.com. Question comes from Chris in Missouri. You've mentioned that your housing should not be more than 25% of your take-home pay. Should this also include utilities, electricity, gas, water? No, just mortgage. Just your mortgage payment. Just don't want your mortgage payment. I just don't want you to be house poor. It's not like if you do 26% that the whole world came to an end, or you do 24% like you're going to get rich. It's the idea of when people call me up and their house payment is $2,000 a month and their take-home pay is $4,000 and they can't figure out why they're broke. Duh. That's all it is. That's a 50% ratio. And so you just don't want to be house poor. House poor is when all you can do is pay your house payment, and then you don't have any money left for food. That's the trick. And if you're renting, what percentage do you want to use? You want the rent to be as cheap as possible because you're saving up to get out of debt and buy a house. And the more higher your rent is, the more your money's going out the door. So we want the lowest possible rent so we can achieve these goals. That's the plan. Jay's with us in Houston, Texas. Hi, Jay. How are you?
I'm better than I deserve, Dave. How are you doing?
Better than I deserve, sir. How can I help?
Thanks, Dave. My wife and I are wondering what you think. I think I know what you think, but I'm worried about it. We have a house that we bought last year. We put 20% down at a 3.25% rate, and we owe about $160 on the house right now. But since we bought the house, we came into some trust fund money at about, and we could put a huge chunk of it towards the house and get that price down, and maybe even use some savings to actually knock out the house in the next year. But it seems like a pretty big, it feels like a big risk to just throw all that money towards the house. I don't want to get your take on it.
Why is it a risk? How are you going to lose the money? How is it possible to lose the money in this scenario?
I guess I don't know. I guess my question really asks if there's any other way I could use that money in a better way.
Yeah. No, I would pay down your house. You're out of debt and you have an emergency fund in place, correct?
Correct.
And how much is the trust fund?
It's about 140.
Okay. And how much do you have in savings?
We have about 30 in savings, so we could probably keep.
And what's your household income?
Per month, the take home is about $5,100.
Okay. I would pay off your house tomorrow.
Okay.
And that'd leave you $10,000, and then rebuild your emergency fund back up from that a little bit. It doesn't strip you down too far. You got a good income, and you're completely debt free. Now, if you wake up in 6 months or a year and you hate being debt free, you can always go get you a mortgage, right?
Right.
Okay, so that's the point. There's no risk. I mean, this is a fairly, if you hate being debt free, going back into debt's fairly easy.
Okay.
Yeah, and you know, you're not going to hate being out of debt. Now, you are going to have to commit to staying out of debt because you got out of debt. You got out of debt easy here, and at a young age, you hit the lottery, right?
Yes, sir.
And so you need to make sure you guys have good personal financial habits so that you use this extra money you now have in such a way that you build wealth and you increase your generosity. Who died that left the money?
Oh, it's old land money, passed down and split up, and we're just being made aware of it.
From a grandparent or a great-grandparent?
Great-grandparent.
Wow, that's pretty wild. And so I still suspect that person who built that wealth would be pretty much smiling if they thought that their great-great-grandkid had the paid-for house because of them.
Absolutely.
Yeah. And so I think you're honoring the memory of that person and probably the intent of the inheritance in that you're being wise. Now, I do want you to get on a written budget if you're not, and you're doing pretty good with your money before this happened. You were in control anyway, and so I know you're doing good, but I just want you to take your old house payment and won't you have that automatically set up as a draft into a mutual fund?
Yeah.
Pay yourself a house payment. You know how fast that's going to be $1 million later? It's going to scare you.
So you do that straight to the mutual fund?
Yeah. Yeah. What's your house payment now?
It's less than $1,000.
It's what?
Not including the tax.
It's what?
Less than $1,000 per month. Your house payment?
Yeah, I'm having trouble understanding you. Speak directly into your phone.
Oh, I'm sorry. Less than $1,000 a month.
Less than $1,000. Okay, why don't we just take $1,000 and have it automatically drafted out of your checking account into a mutual fund? It'll blow you away how quick that turns into serious money. Just pay yourself a house payment because you're debt-free now. It'll rock your world, man. That's what I would do if I woke up in your shoes. I think you're in the driver's seat to go win in a big way like you've never won before. It's a very cool thing to have happen to you. Brad's in Midland, Texas. Hi, Brad. Welcome to the Dave Ramsey Show.
Hi, Dave. Thank you for taking my call.
Sure. What's up?
About 10 years ago when I got out of high school, I got into some trouble with credit cards, racked up a bunch of debt. I spent about 4 years paying that down through wage garnishments and collections. It completely ruined my credit score.
Awesome.
I was wondering what are some good I was wondering what are some good ways to build your credit now, because 10 years later me and my wife have no debt, no obligations, no nothing, and I have a really good job. I make a lot of money, and we have a lot of money in the bank, a lot of cash, a lot of income, but I have no credit. We want to buy a house, but we both have to have a certain credit score. She's got a 720 credit score. Mine's about 550.
Okay. Why would you have a credit score if you've had no debt for 10 years?
I just finished paying the wage garnishments down about 2 years ago.
Oh, okay. Well, that's why you have a 550. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. And do you have any accounts that are open at all in your name?
No, none. I'm just a co-signer on a car.
That's an account that's open in your name?
Yes.
Who did you co-sign the car for?
No, it's my wife's car.
Okay, well, it's got your name on it, and that's what's continuing to keep your account open. Because the problem with credit scores are this. Number one, you don't want to worship at the altar of the FICO score, because the only way a FICO score is achieved is by borrowing money. There's only one way you get a FICO score, and that's borrowing money.
Okay.
And so when someone says, I have an 800 score, I always say, I'm sorry, that probably cost you $100,000 in interest.
Yeah.
It's not an indication of wealth. It's not an indication of intelligence. As a matter of fact, it's a contrary indicator.
Yeah, the only purpose we want is because we would like to buy a house.
I got that part. Yeah, I got that part. But here, you have to get this principle down first, because the only way to get the house is to have a high credit score or have zero credit score. You guys are in no man's land. You're stuck in the middle because you still have car debt.
Yes.
So how much is your debt on your car?
Oh, we only owe $10,000. I could pay that off in cash. The only reason we don't pay it off is because we're helping my wife's credit.
Do it. I don't want to help your wife's credit anymore. I want zero credit outstanding anywhere on either one of you.
Okay.
No accounts open at all. About 6 months to 9 months later, your credit score will disappear.
Mine?
Both of them. I want neither one of you to have an open account anywhere.
I see what you're saying. I see.
And so, because you can get a house with zero credit score. You can't get a house with a 550 credit score.
Yeah, and that's where we were confused.
Yeah, you're stuck in no man's land in between. You either need a great credit score or no credit score to get a house. Or pay cash. That's the third option. But what do you make a year?
About $150,000.
Good for you guys. Way to go, man. That's awesome. So, yeah, I would become debt-free, make sure all accounts are not only paid off, but they're all closed, that there's nothing outstanding. A full copy of your credit bureau up and make sure any of those accounts are all paid to zero, and they're all closed, and they're reported as closed. Shortly thereafter, your credit score will become indeterminable. Translation, you have a zero score. Then you can go to Churchill Mortgage. Remember Churchill Mortgage, and they can walk you through a manual underwriting process, and you can get a non-traditional approval for a conventional or an FHA mortgage. And they do it all the time for our listeners. But you can't get one with 550. You're stuck. And I don't want you to go in debt to run up your credit score. That's going backwards. This is the Dave Ramsey Show.
You're on board KCAA's Inland Talk Express. KCAA, Loma Linda, 1050 AM, the station that leaves no listener behind.